objective is going to be identify how a hurricane is formed and the different parts of a hurricane. So what's a hurricane? A hurricane is a huge rotating storm. It's characterized by violent, super fast winds and really heavy rainfall. Where are we going to find a hurricane? Well, first you're going to need a really warm ocean. Really warm meaning it has to be 80 degrees or even warmer than that. And where are we going to find a warm ocean? Well, if we look at a map of the world's climate zones and we pay attention to the places that are all in red, those are our tropical climate zones, or the places near the equator. The equator is the line that's drawn through the middle of our map. So the places near the equator are places where it's going to be hot all year long. And subsequently, the bodies of water nearby, or the oceans, are going to be hot enough to create the perfect conditions for a hurricane. So if you look at this map where I have hot spots of hurricanes that happen often, it's all places that are in our tropical climate zones. So we have Florida, we have Hawaii, Japan, places in India, Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean, these parts of Australia, and then Fiji. Those are all places where hurricanes are more likely to happen. Okay, so step 1 is you have the hot ocean water. Step 2 is that the warm ocean water is rising, creating more evaporation, and therefore the clouds of our storm. So the hot ocean air is rising up. It's so hot that the water is evaporating and it's condensing into clouds. Now that we've got clouds, what comes next? The rain. So the warm water rose into the air, condensed into clouds, and now it's raining. It's hot, and we got ourselves a thunderstorm. Okay, so now that we have a thunderstorm, we're getting the really strong, violent winds. So we have winds pushing up, going upward, and then we also have winds on either sides of our storm. It's pushing our storm, it's growing the storm, the winds are getting faster and faster. The winds are going the same direction as the earth is tilting, so it's creating this circular motion. So we've got winds going up at either sides of us, and they're going in a circle similar to a funnel from our last lesson. Okay, and then once our winds get up to 74 miles per hour, it is officially considered a hurricane. Our hurricane has formed. Okay, now let's take a closer look at the different parts of a hurricane. I want you to look at the center of this picture of a hurricane. This is called the eye of the storm. Have you ever heard the phrase, it's the calm before the storm? This might be referring to the eye of a hurricane, because inside the eye, there's no winds, there's no clouds. In fact, it's very calm. You might even see bright blue skies. For many miles, the eye of the hurricane can be really big. But right on the edge of the eye is our next part of the hurricane, the eye wall. So if the eye is the center where everything is calm, right on the edge are big puffy clouds, big puffy thick clouds surrounding the eye where there's really violent high-speed winds. This is the most dangerous part of the storm, the high winds. Okay, and then on the outside of the eye wall are the rain bands. The rain bands are the pockets of really, really heavy rains that can cause flooding once they hit land. Okay, so looking at this diagram, we've got the eye. The eye is the center of the storm. We've got the eye wall, the thick, heavy, violent, windy clouds surrounding the eye. And then the further out we go, we have the pockets of rain bands. So those are the really heavy rains. So those are the three parts of the hurricane: the eye wall, and the rain bands. Okay, now here's some hurricane facts. So if you've ever heard the term cyclone or typhoon, those are referring to hurricanes. So those words are used interchangeably, but they mean the same thing. So why do we have different names for cyclones, typhoons, hurricanes? That basically means depending on where the hurricane is, it's called different things. So if there's a hurricane happening in the Atlantic Ocean or the Gulf of Mexico, they call it a hurricane. Hurricanes or big storms, hurricane-like storms in the Western Pacific Ocean, they're referred to as typhoons. And then hurricanes over the Indian Ocean are called cyclones. So different terms, but they all mean the same thing. Hurricanes can be up to 600 miles across. That means in diameter. So a big circle of the hurricane can be 600 miles wide. And then they can be really tall as well. A hurricane can be up to 9 miles high. Hurricanes can last for a week before they settle. And then the way we measure hurricanes, it's on the Saffir-Simpson scale. And that's characterized by how fast the winds are going and how damaging the hurricane is. So it's on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being minimal damage with lower winds, and a 5 meaning catastrophic damage and the highest winds. I'm going to put up some links for a scale that you guys can look out after this PowerPoint. Okay, in conclusion, I came up with another acronym to help us remember the ingredients of a hurricane. I have T, tropical thunderstorms, because they happen in our tropical climate zones. You need H for high-speed winds, so 74 miles per hour and above is considered a hurricane. And then ocean water, warm ocean water, it happens in our ocean. So if we put it together, it's THO, or THO, for a hurricane. So that's all for today. I'm gonna put some other links up to go with this to supplement this PowerPoint, and I'll see you next time.